In this video, we'll be bringing this graveyard spirit to life, talking about some Halloween fears to overcome, and hopefully give you a little insight into how I approach this project. This is OJ over at Brush Jockey Studios, and I'll be your guide through this week's project. This restless spirit is a commission for a friend of mine. The model is a part of a resurrectionist faction from Weird's Malifaux game. I figured since it's Halloween, and what better way to represent the spooktacular day than to record and share with you this spooky little gravedigger. My friend wanted to stick with the original green color of the faction, so I started with a dark base coat from Army Painter spray cans and applied a zenithal highlight with Citadel Sear Gray. From there, I glazed the model using Warp Lightning Green from Citadel's contrast paint line and used Basilicum Gray for the tombstone using the same method. Once the initial glaze was dry, I mixed a gradient of phthalo green and the white from Chimera Colors on my wet palette. I started with the mid-tone of the gradient, painting it on all of the raised areas that it was hit by the zenithal highlight. I gradually worked my way up from the mid-tone of the gradient all the way to the very light pastel green. This provided me the skin tone that I was really looking for. For the glowing guts and eyes of the model, I used a mix of the white and cold yellow to give a very bright yellow. Once that color was dry, I reapplied the glaze of Warp Lightning Green to give it that spooky green effect. Speaking of spooky, publishing and releasing this YouTube video was absolutely horrifying for me. You see, I've been painting for around 40 years. I started when I was 5 years old. I'm 45 now. So I've been painting for that long, and what I really love doing is I love seeing my models and artwork come to life, but more so I like helping people in sharing my skills, my passion, and helping them better their skills. And building this community is really important to me. You know, a few years ago, I started to watch YouTubers like Jazza and Miniac, Squidmar Miniatures, more recently, Goobertown Hobbies, Sergio Calvo, Angel Heraldez. You know, these are all YouTubers that inspire me, and I think I was really scared about putting this together because, well, they're such great artists, and they're such a good spokespeople for this hobby that it just petrified me to put this together. So I took it upon myself to just say, you know what, it's Halloween, I'm going to overcome a fear. I'm recording this video on October 31st, so I wanted to make sure that I could put something together for you, the audience, so that it's hopefully entertaining, but more so imparts my knowledge and some skills that I've learned along the way. So if you're enjoying the video so far, please go ahead and hit the like button, hit subscribe to see some of the future content that I have available and planned, and don't forget to hit the ringer button because I think that's where you get the actual notifications to your inbox. So if they would help out, and hopefully you're finding this enjoyable. So back to the model. When it came time to do the mouth and teeth, I wanted to keep it simple. I created a glaze mixture of white, magenta, yellow, and green, all kind of mishmashed together. And you can see that on my wet palette there. And all I did was I applied it to the recessed areas of the mouth and picked out the teeth afterwards once it was dry with the white ivory color. I wanted the tombstone, though, to have a little bit more texture. So I used a very thin application of white for edge highlighting and really catching the corners of the texture on the stone. I then used the same brush stroke style with some Vallejo rust effects to break the stone up even further, and the cross was then painted with a simple application of Vallejo metal color gold. To get the freshly dug up graveyard look, I started with a simple base coat of forest skin. Once that was dry, I dug deep into my kitchen pantry and pulled out some coffee grinds. Yes, that's right, coffee grinds. I find that coffee grinds has that rich brown, freshly dug up earth look, so that's what I applied using some Mod Podge, sealing it with a mix of water and Mod Podge to then further seal it and make sure it stayed in place. And there we have it. this ghostly ghoul ready for your graveyard shenanigans. If you like the video, hit that like button, and I look forward to seeing you next time.